I appreciate that. Most of you know my story. I filed to run. We have a new House district based on the census. When they look at the census and where the population lives, every 10 years, they adjust the district lines to try and keep each elected office representing about the same number of people. So after the 2010 census, we had a new House seat in Fort Mill. It's really kind of strange, but they actually kind of went to another part of the state, picked it up, and dumped it on Fort Mill because we had grown that much. So there was no incumbent. No one was currently serving in this seat. So I chose to run, filed all of my paperwork to file as a Republican. I had no opposition from the Republican Party, but about 30 days later, they removed about 240 of us off the ballot because we had filed electronically, and according to the law, we were still supposed to hand in a paper copy if you were filing to run for public office for the first time and had not held an office and did not have an ethics report online. So they took my name off the ballot. So then there was no name on the ballot, so I decided to run as a petition candidate, which means I went around. Many of you came and signed my petition for me. Many of you even went out and got more signatures for me. But the way then to put my name back on the ballot was to get 5% of the active registered voters to sign a petition to say, put her back on the ballot. So we were the first one kicked off, and I was the first one put back on.
So you are on the ballot.
I'm on the ballot as a petition candidate. So between now and November 6th, I have to get the word out that you cannot vote a straight Republican or a straight Democratic ticket and vote for your House member.
Right.
Because I will be listed House District 26. There's a Libertarian and there's a petition candidate. Yes. And he was invited tonight to
You're
come.
not writing on the ballot, are you? I didn't read my ballot over completely.
It's not a write-in. My name is there as petition candidate for House District 26. But because there's no Republican and there's no Democrat, unless you actually scroll down or turn your paper ballot to House District 26 and make a selection, you will not have voted for your House member.
Do you have to have a certain percentage of votes to win?
Just the majority.
Just the majority, no matter how few they are.
No matter how few they are, I was told I just have to have one more than my opponent. And just a little history, that has happened in Fort Mill. We have had an elected race that was won and lost by one vote. So every vote does count. But I chose to run. I've been in Fort Mill 30 years. This is home. Like I said, I was here in September 9 years ago when your clubhouse opened. Fort Mill is very close to my heart. There's a lot of unique things about our area and where we're located that I've often felt like Columbia maybe did not give us the attention we deserved. In working with economic development and on several different boards and commissions, we're strategically located. Charlotte is a wonderful neighbor. You're probably like me. You enjoy having the amenities that Charlotte has to offer, but we really like seeing it in our rear view mirror when we're coming home. You know, I really do. I like seeing it in my rear view mirror when I'm coming home. With I-77 and I-85 coming through York County, we are strategically located. We've got a lot of raw land, maybe not in Fort Mill, but on the other side of the county, that we could really do a lot of good things with. So I look forward to focusing on that and putting some effort on that. You're going to hear a lot in the next 22 days about everything that's wrong with Columbia, everything that needs to be changed. As anything, there's room for improvement. You know, I think this latest fiasco with the ballot, we've got to go back and rebuild ethics. We've got to look at that and say, okay, what's wrong? We've got to look at the government structure and say, okay, what can we do to make this better, to streamline it, to make it more efficient, more effective? We're all going to keep complaining about roads. How many times do we complain about roads? No. You have nice Gold Hill Road. 4 lanes, brand new, pretty. But when you get off Gold Hill Road, you're on a 2-lane road with a lot of potholes, not really good marking. If you have to go toward TK during rush hour, you're stuck at 160 and Gold Hill. There is no rhyme or reason to that. You're just stuck. So we've got to look at that. We've got to look at the funding for that. How we're going to do it, I'm not really sure yet. But everybody from North Carolina lines up at our gas stations to buy gas. I want to find a way that they kind of help us pay for some roads. Because they're down here buying our gas with a much less tax. So I don't know yet what my ultimate plan is, but I do want to try to set aside some money not only to build roads, but to repair roads. A lot of you are so new. South Carolina, we passed a pennies for progress. We, the voters, decided to raise our sales tax by 1 cent, and that money to go to build infrastructure. Now, I must admit, if I knew then what I know now, I would have probably said, okay, let's use 75% for new infrastructure, and let's use 25% for pennies for potholes, and fix the roads we already have. But we didn't ask that. So that money is earmarked. We can't use it to fix roads. There's certain things we can do with that money, which has allowed us to have Gold Hill Road. It's allowed us to do the bypass around Fort Mill. We've seen some very good projects from Pennies for Progress, but now we've got to look at a way, how are we going to maintain them? Where's that money going to come from? So I plan to try to focus on that a little bit. November 6th will be here before we know it. We're 22 days away. I am amazed at how many people I continue to meet that haven't really seen a lot, and there really hasn't been a lot in the media on the House District race. There really has not been a lot. But I would ask of you, if you would talk to your neighbors, your family, your friends that live in District 26, and ask them to pay attention to that on the ballot and be sure they make a vote. Of course, I'd like them to vote for me, but I want them to at least vote for the House District. Okay? All right. I'm going to let Greg is your state